Well, g'day, it's John O'Brake here with another round of Monday Myth Check, and today we're going to just take a little bit of a pivot because what I want to do is for the next little while, 30 plus videos, 30 plus weeks, we're going to go through this process where we're working through each of what I call the trail markers. Now, this is a system that I developed, or probably better to call it a framework because it's not just a direct system in a sense. But it's a framework I've developed to help businesses get themselves organized, to get things in the right order, and to build out either a successful startup or a successful scaling business, to get accountable to results, to build great processes, whatever it might be. Those 5 trail markers are purpose, strategy, people, communication, and process. Okay, so very broad, you've heard them all before. And it's the way we organize them and then the tools we use in each of those trail markers that really help guide these businesses. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift the Monday Myth Check to talk about these trail markers in a succession. So we're going to do about 3 weeks. There'll be 3 videos on, we're going to start with purpose today, and then there'll be 3 weeks on strategy, and then people, and then communication, and then process. And then what we'll do is we're going to take another lap. We'll circle back to the parking lot on the trail, and we're going to go out again, and we're going to have a look at some more sites. So this is going to be a fun little season. I just want to also, those of you who have faithfully followed this journey so far, thank you so much. We've done close to 70 of these now. It's been wonderful. We're going to keep going, and I also want to thank the team that I have that does such a great job of putting these together and putting them out there for all of you to see. If you want to find out more or have a further conversation, you can also go onto my Substack, and we can talk there. Get yourself connected up, and we can keep having the conversation. Anyway, let's move into today's Monday Myth Check. And the idea is that, we've probably talked about this one a little bit before, and this whole idea that purpose is a nice to have, but it's not a necessity, okay? Boom, straight out of the gates. And so this idea that, we need to have a purpose. We've all heard Simon Sinek start with why, and this stuff was hanging around even before that. Like, why we do things matters, not just how we do it. You always heard, if you take care of your why, the how and the what take care of themselves. And so this idea that purpose, it matters. I love one of the things that Simon Sinek and others have said is that purpose is the GPS that fuels resistance. Okay, so the idea is it's a powerful framework. It means your core reason for being. It acts as your ultimate navigation tool. So when we start to talk about resistance, we start to talk about resistance in the right way. We start to talk about resistance creating fuel, creating fire, creating heat, creating purity, creating direction, all these things. When we look at a team that doesn't have any resistance at all is a team that's not going anywhere. So this idea that purpose is the GPS that fuels your resistance, it's a beautiful term when we think about it. And what I want you to think about today is, if you've unclear on your purpose, I've asked some people that said, well, it's to make money. Okay, let's be clear on this one thing. If your purpose is clear, and it's usually something that's bigger than yourself, a great framing question is, who am I supposed to serve in my business, in my personal life, in whatever it is that I'm doing, whatever context you're engaging with this conversation? Who are you supposed to serve? And then some of that, and that will play out as some of the why you want to do that. What do you feel like is that bigger life thing that you are moving towards? The problem is, if I don't have this clear, and maybe I've just grabbed onto something, or maybe I've been told what my purpose is by other people, by my team or whatever, and so it's not resonating, it's not quite hitting the mark. Doesn't mean it's bad, it's just not quite hitting the mark. Maybe it needs to be redefined, because now we're putting the wrong data into that GPS. Okay, we may still have a GPS, but we're now going to the wrong spot, or we're using an old map, or whatever it might be. We're using some technology and it doesn't keep up with the journey that we're on, and so now we're like, I don't know if we're in the right spot or not. So this idea of the fact that we would focus in on our purpose. When I talk about the trail markers and I show it as a visual trail, and I unpack it when we're unpacking the trail markers, I always say you've got 2 choices on a trail. A trail is either an out and back trail, so you're always going back to the beginning to get back to your car or wherever it is you started, or you're going to another point, or you're doing a loop. okay? And we talk about a loop trail where we're actually going back a different way, but we're going to end up at the same point. And the whole point is that on the trails, we have this journey. So the conversation today, purpose is massively important. It is a myth that it's not important. It's a myth that we should just pick something and run with it. It needs to make sense. It needs to matter. It needs to be fueled by who am I supposed to serve? And then you can step forward into the other things. So we're going to talk more about purpose in the next video, if you're watching these in order. So is purpose important, or is it just another thing? It doesn't really matter in business. Let's just do business. Purpose is massively important. It's a myth that it's not. I'm John O'Brake. This is Monday Myth Check. As always, enjoy the journey.